everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander Powerhouses studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, budget Commander Powerhouses, these $3 cards are ones that you need to know. Let's jump into it. First up, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Panharmonicon. This is a card, well, I can't believe I'm saying this not because it's not a good card, but I'm saying this because it is a card that in my mind is just perpetually like $8 or so, because it became popular in Commander incredibly quickly and for good reason. An artifact for 4. If an artifact or creature entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers initial time. This card is massively impactful, obviously in ETB decks and Blink decks, etc., or just if your commander has an absurdly powerful ETB. It is going to see a ton of play because it just says, let's do that, but then better. Let's just double up all the effectiveness of all of those cards. And the amount of value you can get out of that is insane. And yeah, when it comes to value, $2.89 for this one. If you can stretch your budget for this kind of a card, can be incredibly impactful. And I guess I should mention with all these cards, I should have said this earlier, my apologies. If you are interested in any of these cards, there's a card list link in the description below. Next up, now I am not a fan of saying auto-include. That kind of a term just, I think it's overused sometimes, and also there are certain decks out there that actually, like even Sol Ring, yes, Sol Ring does not fit in somehow. Yes, I know that it seems absurd. But Forsaken Monument, it's really tough. I'm not going to say it's an auto-include, but it's really tough to argue against this in basically any colorless deck out there because, well, it's kind of just made for them. It's a legendary artifact for 5, and it says colorless creatures you control get +2/+2. Whenever you tap a permanent for colorless, add additional colorless. Whenever you cast a color spell, you gain 2 life. Now, most of those things, I mean the first 2 things essentially, are already just worth it at 5 mana, just on their own. If you just had, a colorless creature get +2/+2, that would probably still see play at 5 mana. And yes, definitely doubling up your permanents tapping for colorless, that would well be worth the 5 mana, and the cast a color spell is just like a nice additional bonus on top of that. But yeah, all those things combined for 5 mana is insane. This is so much value for you. It pumps your team. It doubles up your mana essentially. I mean, yeah, you might have some, mana sources that tap for 1 mana of any color. Maybe, but most likely in a colorless deck, every single one of your lands is tapping for just colorless. So every single one of those is doubled up, and basically all your mana rocks are too. So yeah, this is just kind of insane. On top of that, just gaining life as well. So yeah, mana doubler, Anthem, and also gaining life. I mean, if this was in just any color, it would see so much play. But yeah, the fact that it's specific for colorless decks is good, is amazing, and yeah, is well worth that $2.66 if you get the budget for it. Let's keep things rolling with Archavist of Agma. Yeah, this is an insane card, especially just for $2.85. If you can stretch the budget to there, it can provide you so much value. A 2/2 halfling cleric with flash for 2 mana and white. Whenever an opponent searches their library, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Now, this might throw some players off because how often do tutors happen? Well, when it comes to tutoring for lands, yeah, that counts. That is an insane amount. Again, someone just plays an Evolving Wilds, cracks an Evolving Wilds, and all of a sudden, there you go. You gain a life, you draw a card. Gaining life, that's nice. And if you've got a life gain strategy, that can help you out even further, obviously. But drawing a card is obviously where this really matters. And this can just provide you so much card advantage throughout the game. And of course, you can sneak in that first one as well. You can just flash this in and go, okay, an opponent didn't realize I was going to play this. They just played a rampant growth, and all of a sudden, I get to draw a card and gain a life. Not that they would play around this most of the time, usually. They're not going to be well, I won't ramp because of this. Well, I'm not going to go tutor for the card I need because of this. They might change up slightly, but they can only change up so much. It's not like they're going to play an Evolving Wilds and not crack it. So, there you go. Just a crazy good card in white, again, giving you so much card advantage throughout the game. And yes, life gain strategies as well, life gain synergies too. Yeah, pick that one up. Up next on the list, we've got Thunderclap Drake. Yeah, when this card was printed, I was like, it does that, and that, and that. Okay. It's a 2/1 Drake with flying for 2 mana in blue. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. So already it is basically Gobble Electromancer, but better because it's a flyer, and also like it can see play in like any deck that just has blue versus having to have Is It colors. So there you go. And by the way, also on top of that, you can pay 2 and 8 blue, sacrifice it when you cast your next instant sorcery spell this turn, copied for each time you've cast your commander for the command zone this game. Okay, that is a massive, potentially even game-ending effect. Again, you play this essentially in a Spellslinger deck, or like a big mana deck as well, like big spells deck, or a copy deck. You're gonna have a lot of fun with it. Especially when it comes to a card like, you know, oh, I don't know, like any extra turn spells, essentially. It's like, oh, okay, I cast my commander a couple times, whatever, maybe once, twice, whatever it is. Oh, I cast an extra turn spell, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, yeah, I sacrifice this, I copy that, and all of a sudden I take 3 extra turns now, which means that I win, basically. The game is just over at that point. Or like Expropriate, like another game ender, or Blatant Thievery, another game ender. Yeah, this is just like take your game-ending spell, and now all of a sudden you get 2 extra copies. It doesn't have to be a game-ending spell, but I'm just saying, like, in that scenario, it just shows off the incredible power of this. Even if you're just like, okay, I play a Fact or Fiction, and I copy it twice, that is so much extra card advantage. Again, already on something that you would just play, even if it didn't have that last ability. If it didn't have that ability at all, it would still see a lot of play. So yeah, Flyers decks out there, Spellslingers decks out there, big mana spells out there. You're going to want to play this card. $2.92. Yeah, again, you might have to stretch your budget like me for that one when it comes to, you know, your budget builds. But if you're willing to do that, it is a great card for that. Now, on to the next one. We've got Academy Manufacturer, a 1/3 assembly worker for 3 mana. If you create a clue, food, or treasure token, instead create 1 of each. Now, this is one, when it first came out, it was good. It was still very good, right? It still has gotten better and better and better and better and better over the years because, well, yeah, we've gotten a lot more ways to make clues, food, and yes, especially treasures. This is something that, well, I mean, years ago, I'd be like, wow, okay, like in, you know, Ixalan times, like, oh, wow, treasures, yeah, there's like a couple ways to make treasures, that's kind of cool. Now it's like, oh, this makes a treasure, that makes a treasure, everything makes a treasure. So now, all of a sudden, you're getting so much value, and of course, when it comes to, I mean, decks specifically built around clues and food, again, it's hard to say auto-include, okay? Like, it's hard to say that. But when it comes to those kinds of decks, yeah, I'd like to make a treasure every single time I do one of those things. I'd like to get free mana. Not that clues and food aren't the best things ever, too, but, like, treasures are above those. And so getting a free mana back every single time you do just what you want to do with a deck is insane. And of course, in a treasure-specific deck, you're like, okay, I'm just creating, you know, additional artifacts to have in play. Maybe I've got, like, affinity things. Maybe I've got things that care about the number of artifacts in play. Maybe I've got some ways to take advantage of when my artifacts hit the graveyard. Or just, sure, like, every now and then I might need to draw a card or might need to gain some life, and I'm willing to pay mana for that eventually. So, yeah, this card has just gotten better over the years, and it is such a good, solid card. $2.59 right now. Speaking of solid, though, let's move on to Death Baron. Okay, first of all, an amazing name, amazing artwork, and an amazing card itself. $2.98, just under our threshold of 3. A 2/2 zombie wizard for a 3 mana in black. Skeleton creatures you control, and other zombie creatures you control. There's the kicker. Get ++1 and have Death Touch. Now, when it comes to Lords, this has got to be up there as one of the best ones out there because, I mean, typically Lords, like, give you a benefit, you know, that's like one way or another. It's like, okay, it's an anthem, or like it's an effect, or it's a keyword or whatnot, essentially, right? And this one's like, no, you get both. And one that's a very relevant keyword, too. And this is a pretty low-to-the-ground creature as well. And it also impacts 2 creature types. Now, notably, one of them, skeletons, no offense, skeletons, but, yeah, it's nowhere near as popular as zombies. One of the most popular creature types of all time, of course. And yeah, being able to just say, you know what, hey, all my zombies, you get a little pump effect, and also now you're incredibly difficult to block. If you are blocked, you're just taking whatever it is out. And now it's also incredibly difficult to swing into this player as well that has Death Baron in play, because now they have basically some amazing blockers that can just take out anything. So yeah, Death Touch is incredibly relevant. It also plays with certain things like pingers too, or it plays with, you know, I mean, First Strike as well. Typically you don't find those things within zombies themselves usually. That being said, just, yeah, okay, Low to the Ground, great anthem, great Lord effect for your team. It's pretty insane for a zombie deck. Make sure you pick it up. Okay, and ironically, next up on the list, also insane for a zombie deck, Noxious Ghoul. Now, this card is from my childhood, back in, I believe that's Legions, and it is so incredibly impactful in a game that it just turns the entire table on its head, and everyone says, oh, that is the most threatening thing now. We must stop that thing. A 3/3 zombie for 5 mana in black. Whenever another zombie comes into play, all non-zombie creatures get -1/-1 until end of turn. This is kind of like how Archfiend of Ifnir is for cycling. This is for zombies. It's literally like, hey, you know what? You've got some creatures, good for you. I've got all zombies, essentially, and what's going to happen is I get zombies in play, which I'm a zombie deck. I do that. I tend to do that a lot. And, of course, with zombies, you can usually get a lot of them in play at once, and all of a sudden, this is a one-side, repeatable board wipe that just keeps going on and on and on. Literally taking out all your opponent's creatures and then just sticking around, and then if your opponents get more creatures in play, they're like, well, this time they're not going to get more zombies. Oh, no, they got more zombies in play. Oh, no. Okay, well, my creatures are gone again. Yeah, you literally just have, like, again, a repeatable board wipe on a zombie that is just going to stay around and decimate your opponent's boards again and again and again. $2.85 right now for this gem. Let's take a look at the next card, though, with Tender Shoot Dryad. Now, I'm going to admit an embarrassing story right now. I did play the pre-release with this one, and I was so excited about my deck and really excited about this card, but, like, gonna be honest, I misread it. Like, I literally misread the card. I just wasn't even thinking when I was playing the card, and then my opponent at the end of the game let me know that I was playing it wrong, because, hey, reading the card explains the card, right? And it says, well, let's read the whole card, and I'll tell you what I messed up on. You probably already guessed it, though. A 2/2 Dryad for 5 mana in green. Ascend. At the beginning of each upkeep, I just, made it pretty obvious what it is. Each upkeep, create a 1/1 green sapling creature token. Saplings you control get +2/+2 as long as you're the city's blessing. Now, admittedly, like, pre-releases aren't usually my cup of tea, and so I was pretty nervous during it. I was hoping I would, do pretty well, and I was really excited, and, yeah, I missed the whole each thing right there. So I literally just like, okay, yeah, I'm just making one on my upkeep, which is still good, right? Making a sapling on your own upkeep is still good. That being said, it would have been a lot better in that game, and I might have won that game had I been creating a sapling on every single turn. And yeah, that was a one-on-one, right, obviously. Now, when it comes to Commander, again, you're in a multiplayer format, and you are making a token on every single turn at 5 mana that also then pumps those tokens and all other saplings you might have very quickly. I mean, you're going to get to the city's blessing in absolutely no time, right? You'll probably get to there before your next turn even happens, most likely, essentially. And you're going to be like, okay, cool. Now they're 3/3s. I'm making a 3/3 every single upkeep. Literally, again, you play this, and let's assume that you get to, again, 10 permanents by the time your next turn starts. You go run, trip around the table again, at each upkeep, your next turn starts, and you made your 4th sapling, so you're like, okay, we got 4 saplings. They each have 3 power now. And this has 2 power. I just made 14 power with 1 trip around the table with 1 card. Okay, cool. And then each trip around the table after that is going to be an extra 12 power, essentially, right? You are flooding the board with so many tokens. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, Aristocrat-style decks can like this as well, obviously. You're creating token fodder. But also, of course, go-wide strategies. I mean, just sapling strategies, I guess, too. It makes an army itself. It makes a very potent army itself of medium-sized creatures throughout the game. Just, okay, get another 3/3, another 3/3, another 3/3, another 3/3. It is incredible. And again, I am so sorry, Tender Shoot Dryad, for messing that one up when I, kind of missed that it's each upkeep. So, my bad. Pick it up. Onward we go to Brave the Sands. That kind of sounds like it could be like a storybook. Onward we go to Brave the Sands. And then a dragon. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, Brave the Sands, an incredibly good enchantment. Actually, on a previous episode where I talked about another enchantment, I think it's Sarah's Blessing, is that the one? Anyways, that basically is the exact same mana value. It's an enchantment. It says creatures control vigilance, and that one does that. And I got some comments that said, like, why didn't you mention Brave the Sands? Well, because Brave the Sands is $2.54, and so yes, it is better than Sarah's Blessing, or whatever that one is called. And this one, just does a little bit more than that, but it's a little more expensive, and it could use a reprint. Wizards, it's uncommon. Wizards, reprint it, read into Tarkir. Wizards, you could have done it! Anyways, each creature you control can block an additional creature each combat. Yeah, that's really good as well. So essentially, this is the ultimate, like, defensive card, but also, like, the ultimate, like, aggression card in a way. Because you can go super aggressive with this. By playing this, it kind of gives you a blank check to say, okay, yeah, just swing away however you want to swing, essentially, right? Just start swinging at all your opponents. Because you're going to have enough blockers. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Make good attacks, I guess I should say. So if you have some basic creatures or some big creatures that get through, don't just swing your creatures in the danger when they get taken out. It's not going to help you. But yeah, being able to just swing and say, okay, I know I'm going to have defenders. They're going to be back on defense, I should say, not defenders. And then be able to just block extra creatures. That's massive as well. It makes it so much tougher for your opponents to actually be aggressive back at you, to be able to swing at you. And you can really effectively attack and block. It's a solid card. Probably should have been a rare, I feel like, maybe-ish. But yeah, Wizards, reprint it, please. Now, a card that does see a ton of reprints, actually, but still is $2.84 and is an uncommon as well, Elemental Bond. There's a reason why this is a card that, well, it is, again, expensive for an uncommon, even though it just keeps getting a ton of reprints, because enchantment for 3 mana in green, whenever a creature you control with power 3 or greater enters, draw a card. Yeah, that's so good for so many reasons. Now, here's the thing, and you could argue with me until the day I stop playing Magic, which is hopefully many years in the future. Basically, and then I won't argue with after that. I'll be like, why are you arguing with me? I don't play anymore. But I'll probably keep playing anyways. So, basically, with this kind of a card, green gets everything. Green just gets to do everything that every color does, basically. Every color does something, and green's like, you know what? I also get to do that, but very well. But there's a restriction! That's not really much of a restriction for a green deck. Power 3 or greater is not much of a restriction at all. That is basically no restriction for green decks, essentially. I mean, just think about earlier with Tender Shoot Dryad, right? I'm making 1/1s, but they're actually 3/3s. And all of a sudden, with each tripper on the table, I draw 4 cards. This is an insane card draw engine for you. That takes advantage of, again, you just playing, a go wide strategy. You playing, a go tall strategy. You playing with a blink strategy. Again, it says creature enters. It doesn't specify, if you cast it. It also doesn't specify it's a token or non-token. No matter what you are doing, you are getting insane amounts of card advantage. Again, green just now is known for card advantage, but this is one of the cards that really helps push it forward. It's crazy good. Take advantage of it as well. $2.84. All right, buckle up for this next one because Annie Joins Up is a crazy good card for $2.56. A legendary enchantment for 4 mana in Naya. When it enters the battlefield, deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Now, if it just did that, it would be hot garbage. That being said, it does that but more. If a triggered ability of a legendary creature you control triggers, that ability triggers additional time. This is a card where, Wizards, I wish you didn't just keep designing these things, but players who want to take advantage of this, please take advantage of it because it is such a powerful effect. Now, the nice little removal of a medium-sized to slightly big creature at 5 is nice, or planeswalker, that's nice. But again, literally just hey, let's just double up my legendary creature triggers. Here's the thing. You have a commander that is legendary. Does it have a trigger that you really like and probably built the entire deck around? Cool. Awesome. Do you want that twice? Yes? Play this card. That's literally what is it in Naya? That's the only other question. But yeah, essentially this is a card that just says, do you want to do what your commander does again? Great. Do that. Again, there's a lot of commanders out there that have triggered abilities, again, whether they are, like an ETB, an LTB, whatever they are, essentially, or whenever something happens, cast a spell, this happens, whatever it is. All of a sudden, now you're like, okay, I get double the value out of that. My entire deck is built around that. This is kind of like a secondary copy of your commander in a way. And again, for just 4 mana on an enchantment, which I will argue that, in my opinion, enchantments are the hardiest type of card out there. They are the hardest to deal with, typically, so they're going to stick around. This is just an insane amount of value for you, and it's hard to beat that. And yeah, Wizards at one point just started printing these effects that double things up, and they're like, more doubling, more doubling, more doubling, more doubling. take advantage of it and utilize a great card like this. You're not ready for this next pick, and neither are your opponents. We've got Elvin Chorus, an enchantment for 4 mana in green. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast creature spells to the top of your library. Creatures you control have tap add 1 mana of any color. Now, this card is basically like Cryptlith Rite meets kind of like a Future Sight, but specifically for creatures. I guess there was that like Garrick's Pack Leader. No, it was a Pack Leader. Whatever the Garrick's, whatever. There's a 7 mana one that's like you can cast on the top that's a 7/7. It's a beast. Anyways. So essentially, this is a combination of already good cards, and this is just like, oh, okay. I cost slightly more than Cryptlith Rite, which probably shouldn't have cost 2 mana. It's an incredibly powerful card, a very good card. And now, all of a sudden, I not only get a ton of mana out of my creatures, turning them all into mana dorks that can fix mana as well, but also on top of that, I get to know what the top of my library is, which is already just a value right then and there. But of course, on top of that, play off the top of my library, basically making it a secondary hand, which is insane, which is absurd, which is so much value. Again, for a deck that has a decent amount of creatures in it, or especially for a deck that can manipulate the top of your library, if you've got like Scry, Surveil, any kind of mill effects, if you've got any kind of just draw effects as well, you can like, oh, okay, that's not a creature. All right, let's mill that. Oh, that's a creature, and I'll play that. You can just kind of turn that again into a second hand that just keeps gaining value, gaining advantage, all while again, oh, if I'm going wide, getting a bunch of creatures in play, I tap for an absurd amount of mana. And Cryptlith Rite's seen so much play for a reason, and this does as well. Pick it up. Here comes a spicy one, though. A card, in my opinion, that is pretty much constantly undervalued. Black Market, an enchantment for 5 mana in black. Whenever a creature dies, put a charge counter on Black Market. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, add black to your mana pool for a charge counter on it. This can just go crazy in absolutely no time. This is a card that sure costs 5, starts off with not giving you anything, but for decks that want to utilize this, or just even like literally decks that have a decent amount of removal in them, a couple wraths in them essentially, right? Like yeah, in a Riskrat style deck, you can guarantee that you are going to have creatures dying. Cool, that's going to happen. For a Proliferate deck, you can guarantee that you just need 1 charge counter on this, and all of a sudden you can get more and more and more charge counters on it. For any kind of a deck that's got a bunch of Edict effects, okay, like I cast my Edict effect, everyone sacrifices a creature. That's 4 charge counters on this. It's an insane value engine for you that can get so much mana for you so quickly. Again, like at the beginning of your pre-combat, next main phase, you gotta wait a turn for that, okay? Right, sure. All right? You're still going to get an insane amount of mana value each turn, and it's going to keep growing and growing and growing. I mean, this can generate you like 10 plus mana in absolutely no time. $2.81, well worth it if you've got the budget for it. Go pick it up. Wait till you see this. Next one, though, Zendicar Resurgent. Yeah, this, again, is one of those cards that's kind of like Elvin Chorus, where it's like, all right, like, we're just going to combine a bunch of things, all right? It's going to do all this, it's going to do all that, and it's going to be great. It's going to be absolutely amazing, okay? Here we go. It's an enchantment for 7 mana in green. Okay, so that is a hefty cost, but again, you are in green. You've got plenty of ramp. You got the best ramp out there. Get it in play, and all of a sudden, now you've got twice the best ramp out there. Whenever you tap a land for mana, add 1 mana to your mana pool of any type that land produced. On top of that, whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card. 2 things that both are like decently expensive effects anyways. Like if you were going to put that on an enchantment, just generally like the doubling up of your land mana, it would, just specifically you, not like including your opponents as well, like not like what Heartbeat of Spring, that kind of thing. It would probably be, what, 5 mana, maybe 4 these days. Essentially it was just that. Casting a creature spell, draw a card, that would also probably be like 4 mana. So you combine those 2 things and you're like, oh, okay, cool, it just costs 7. Just 7, I mean 7's a lot, but still like, once you play this, this is just the most pivotal card on the board. This says, hey, I've got so much more value than you. I'm going to be drawing so many more cards than you. All of a sudden, I'm going to be just tapping for so much more mana than you. I already had more mana than you. I'm in green, but now I've got twice that much mana. So all of a sudden, I'm at just this unstoppable peak time, and I'm just going to be taking over the game from here and now. So yeah, this is definitely a card that is a massive card to play, to lay down the table and say, you better stop me, because if you can't, I am rolling over you right now. Let's zero in on this next big one. We've got Congregation at Dawn. This is a card that's a lesser known card, I would say, but it is so good. It is so insanely good. Instant speed for green, and a white 3 mana in Selesnya. Search your library to 3 creature cards and reveal them. Shuffle your library, then put those cards on top of in any order. This is crazy. This, again, when it comes to, like, tutoring up one creature, you've got, like, what, Eladamri's Call, or whatever that one is, like, at 2 mana, right? Okay, 2 mana instant speed, go tutor one creature in your hand. That's very, very good. That's incredibly good, right? This one says, okay, you're not getting the creatures in your hand, all right? And you are paying more. But you get 3 of them, which is absolutely incredible to be able to say, I want that creature, then that creature, then that creature. You can set yourself up for success, and of course, if you've got ways to draw them, to get them quicker, great. Or ways to maybe play them off the top of your library. If you've got, again, like cascade type effects, yeah, that can be absolutely insane as well. Just literally, though, tutoring for 3 things for 3 mana, I mean, you don't ever really see that. Like, Buried Alive is one that's, like, put in the graveyard, which is obviously very good for their own style decks, too. But, like, 3 cards, 3 mana, instant speed, yeah, set me up for that. Even though, again, it's not in your hands, like, more like Vampiric Tutor style, where it's on the top of the library, obviously can still be incredibly beneficial to you. So good in creature-based strategies. So good in, again, like, cascade decks, too, that you might not realize that. It's such a good, cool card. Pick it up. Things are just heating up, though, because we're moving on to yet another great tutor with, well, Solve the Equation. A sorcerer, 3 mana in blue. Search life for an instant or sorcerer card, reveal it, put in your hand, then shuffle. Now, are there better tutors out there? Sure. I mean, again, like, Demonic Tutor's like, you know, $40, $50, whatever it is, for a reason. It's such a good card at 2 mana. It's basically in the power 9 of Commander, essentially, and it is definitely a game changer for a reason. This card is not that. This is 1 more mana, and it is more specific. That being said, if you've got a deck that wants you to go get specific instants or sorceries, maybe you've got a combo around one, maybe you've just got like a game finisher around one, yeah, there's no reason not to play this card. I mean, yeah, there are reasons, like, you know, it depends on the deck, but still, like, it is such a good, solid tutor. 3 mana, again, is not a lot when it comes to tutoring for something that you really want. It is specific, but hey, you know what? You want an instant sorcery for that kind of a deck. You have a big mana deck, a spell slinger deck, whatever you have, go get the card and go get this one for $2.93. Here's a card that might surprise you that is, well, less than $3 right now. Irenicus's Vise Duplication, a source for 4 mana in blue. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, except the token has flying and isn't legendary if the token is legendary. I always forget that the token also just happens to have flying. It's just like, okay, like, sure, it's got flying. It's like, why does that monk have flying now? Well, it's because I made a token copy of it. Cool. Anyways, this is an insane effect. This is just like, hey, let me set you up perfectly for what you want to do. Again, a lot of decks are built around their commander. A lot of decks would like an extra copy of their commander. Congratulations, you get an extra copy of your commander for just 4 mana. It is a token, which can be a downside. It also has flying, I should have mentioned that too, which can be an upside, obviously. It is a token, which can be a downside. But the thing is, it probably isn't. I mean, when it comes to, like, okay, if an opponent has, like, an unsummon spell, like a bounce spell, sure, there you go. You also can't blank it. Okay. What you can do, though, is take advantage of token-based things, like Populate. Oh, my goodness. This in a Populate deck with a commander that cares about, well, I mean, having your commander in play, my God, the insane value of this is just crazy. Being able to just say, hey, you know what? Extra copy of my commander, and also populate. Even if you aren't populating, though, even if you're not taking advantage of it being a token, just being able to make an extra copy of your commander can be just game ending sometimes. Again, just being able to say, hey, my deck already does this very well. Now it does it twice as well because it's built around this commander, and I've got 2 of them. And it is flying too, so why not? Yeah, a card that is super good. It's an uncommon. Wizards reprint it! Now let's switch over to something that you may have never heard of before that was from way back in 1996, and yeah, does something that, well, this color really doesn't do ever, and this card might be on the reserve list, I don't know, but regardless, I think is it Alliances? It's a really old card. Sorcery for 4 mana in black, sacrifice a creature to gain control of target non-black, non-artifact creature. Yeah, what a weird card. What an incredibly weird card. This is an absurdly weird card that, like, back in the day, that kind of makes sense, right? I mean, when when the colors were just kind of being like figured out at the time before like they actually kind of like more solidified what they each did, except green, which does everything. Yeah, I guess green doesn't do mind control though. There you go. Maybe they do. Someone let me know in the comments though. There's probably something that they do with mind control. This is literally like, okay, hey, you know what? This effect is very much in blue these days. Like red gets temporary control of creatures. Blue gets, you know, permanent control of creatures. And black gets like, they just finally got like come back wrong, I think in Duskborn, right? And they just finally got that, but like that's like, okay, you like temporarily get the creature. Like you destroy it, it comes back under your control, and then you sacrifice it. This goes, no. Mind control. Yeah, you've got to sacrifice something, but again, like, how many decks out there that are in black just have like a ton of creature fodder that are like, hey, I don't really care about this like little 1/1 thrall or whatever it is, okay? Like, or 1/1 bat or whatever it's going to be. I'll sacrifice it. I don't care. In fact, sacrificing it probably gives me value in a risk-red style strategy. Like, I just gained a bunch of value off of sacrificing that. Thank you. But now you just get to say, okay, what's the best creature on the board? Okay, that's non-black, non-artifact. Okay, so, like, those are two slight limitations, but still not that big of limitations. Oh, like, it could be an opponent's, like, commander. Okay, cool. I gain control of your commander at the cost of 4 mana and sacrificing my worst creature. Thank you. Or just literally, again, the best creature on the board. This is a card that can come out of nowhere. Again, if you're not in blue, your opponent's not expecting a mind control spell, and you're like, yeah, by the way, give me your creature. Like, what? That can't do that. No, black doesn't have that effect. Yes, it does. Okay, yeah, here we go. Ritual of the Machine. What is that? Don't worry about it. It's really old. It does this. Give me that creature. New turn, new card, Season of the Burrow. This is a card where, this is a card where, I mean, the name kind of sounds like a book, right? Season of the Burrow. This by I don't even know. Anyways, a sorcerer for 5 mana in white. Choose up to 5 paw were the modes. I think that's what that is. I don't know. Anyways, you may choose the same mode more than once. I can't remember what that's called. I think it's paw. Anyways, paw. Create a 1/1 white rabbit creature token. 2 paws. Exile target non-land permanent's controller draws a card. 3 paws. Return target permanent card made value 3 or less for your graveyard to the battlefield. Then indestructible counter on it. This is a card that is so good. I mean, just at face value, okay? If you need to, 5 mana, make 5 1/1 rabbits, that's still going to be worth it, right? In a go-wide strategy, you're like, okay, cool. I make a lot of creatures. I am doing that. Good for me. Especially in, I guess, Rabbit Tribal, I guess, sure. That being said, being able to flexibly say, you know what? I'd rather get rid of one thing and make 3 tokens. Okay, so I get rid of any non-land permanent. Any of them. Sure, that controller draws a card, but I'm willing to make that trade for, again, something massive. It's like, oh, you've got Blightsteel. Okay, let's get rid of that. Yeah, sure, take a card. I don't care. Basically, again, just like, okay, emergency, take something out. Like, sure, give them a card. Not bad at all. And again, you can do that twice. You can get rid of 2 things and still make 1 rabbit, which is massive. Or again, if you're the one who's desperate, you can go, okay, yeah, I've already got like some other tokens in play, whatever. I'll get rid of, again, miscellaneous token. Don't care. I draw a card because I need to draw a card. You can turn this into a cantrip in that way, which is great. Or, of course, again, bring something back. You can bring one thing back, mana value 3 or less, but indestructible counter on, so it's really hard to deal with then. So, again, that could be like a very powerful, again, like draw enchantment or something like that, or a very powerful, again, artifact, very powerful effect, very powerful creature too, I guess, at mana value 3 or less as well. That being said, yeah, you've got a lot of options with this, and all of them are good options. Pick it up. Speaking of options, though, Descent of the Dragons is a hilariously cool card. A sorcery for 6 mana in red. Destroy any number of target creatures. Any number can be any creatures, doesn't be yours. Opponents can be anything. For each creature destroyed this way, its controller puts a 4/4 red dragon creature with flying onto the battlefield. Yeah, that's fun. So yeah, this is basically, all right, let's change everything into dragons, or certain things into dragons. Whatever I want to change into dragons gets changed into dragons. Yay, everything's a dragon, or only the things I want them to be dragons. This can be incredibly effective for decks that have like low to the ground creature tokens, or just low to the ground creatures in general, or again, aristocrat style strategy that actually wants to have their creatures die. You're like, okay, cool, I've got more creatures than my opponents, but they're all tiny. My opponents' creatures are huge. Let's even the playing field a bit, okay? I'm going to destroy all these creatures, all those creatures. Maybe, again, if my opponents have, like, certain small creatures, leave those alone. And all of a sudden be like, okay, everyone gets these dragons. By the way, I've got the biggest army now. Good for me. Yay. Or, again, if your opponents just have, like, regular medium size or small creatures, like, don't destroy any of your opponent's creatures, and all of a sudden, they get no dragons. They've got no flyers, and you've got this massive army of flyers. Of course, this can also take advantage of, like, a Warstorm Surge with ETBs as well. You can do some pretty crazy things with this one. Pick it up. Finally, speaking of crazy things, obviously not for every deck out there because it can't fit in every deck out there because it's, only in the best color combination of all time with 5 color. Wubberg. Sorcery for 8 mana in total 3 and Wubberg. Search your library for a white card, a blue card, a black card, and a red card, and a green card. Reveal those cards and put them in your hand, then shuffle your library. This is an insane tutor. And yes, 8 mana is a lot, but when you have a commander such as, Joda, not the new Joda, the old Joda, my favorite Joda, Archmage Eternal, then yeah, this only costs 5. That being said, even if it does cost 8, it's still well worth it. This is a game-winning play where you're just like, okay, I'm getting 5 cards for 8 mana, or again with Joda, 5 mana, and let's just set myself up. And it's like basically whatever 5 cards in your deck you want. There are restrictions, obviously, it has to be one of each color, but if you're in a 5-color deck that's like balanced appropriately, you probably have great cards of each color, so all of a sudden you're like, yeah. And keep in mind, like, multicolored cards can like go across ones too. So yeah, being able to just go, okay, let's go set myself up for success, set myself up to win, get the right cards I need for the situation. It is an insane tutor. There's really nothing else like it when it comes to just like, tutor up this many cards. Yeah, you're gonna be having fun with it. If you never cast a Conflux, have fun with it. But also, I will say, like, know when you build your deck, like, what you're gonna be tutoring for, like, typically with Conflux, because it can be very annoying for someone to be like, okay, now let me take 10 minutes to search through my library and find the exact 5 cards that I need. So I didn't really think about this ahead of time. Let me just go do that. Okay. Taking my time. Yeah, that can be annoying. Think about it ahead of time and pick up this card. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. As always, comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.